you must have all your proper PPE when entering the lab. Safety glasses, gloves, and safety boots are required. With your material list ready, hand it over to the clerk. He'll be gathering all the material for you. While he's gathering all the material, feel free to sign out for your bin. Please ensure that your bin corresponds with the station you'll be working in. There's also a material rack in the shop for any loose things like staples, morettes, screws. Feel free to help yourself as needed. Here we are in our station, but what should we do before we begin? Start by laying out your wiring diagram so you know what you're about to start with. Move the plug-in cord off to the side and start opening up your panel cover. To measure and mount our boxes, start by measuring and marking for our device boxes with a pencil. Once each of our device boxes are marked in our desired locations, feel free to start mounting our boxes. The teeth on the side of our boxes hold steady while we can screw them in. Be sure to check the boxes after to make sure they're secure. With our wiring diagram in front of us, we should know which specific wires need to be pulled to which destinations. Let's start by pulling some wires and leaving a little bit of slack to play with, just in case we make a mistake. Wires are pulled, we can now support our wires. Be sure to put our supports at the specific measurements needed from each device box. It's also important to realize that with different wires, we will need different supports, so make sure we're up to date on which supports to use for the specific type of wire. Now we're ready to remove the jacket of our wire and install it into our box. When we're doing this step, be sure to wear your gloves. As we're dealing with knives and sharp objects, we really don't want to cut ourselves. Safety first. It's important to put the wire up to the box to realize where you're going to be stripping the jacket from. Once you have an accurate location, you can then strip your jacket off. With respect to armor cable, be sure to use the red collar, also known as an anti-short, to protect our conductors. Of course, please do not forget the panel, and when doing so, please remember your plastic 30-30 connector. We're almost done. Step 5. But I forgot how to wire up my devices. Wait a second. My wiring diagram is right in front of me. As I begin connecting my devices, the first thing I want to do is worry about my bond wires. I'm going to wrap my bond wires in a clockwise formation around my bond screws, then trim them short so I don't have to worry about them. Now I want to trim all my conductors at a specific length from the face of my device box. Once any connections I need to make are made, I can tuck them away and worry about my devices. As I connect all my devices, I want to make sure they are still accessible so that my instructor can check them afterwards. Once my devices are connected, I have to finish everything off by obviously connecting my panel. I always start with my ground, next is my neutral, and finally to my breaker. For this specific lab, we are using a 15 amp single pole breaker. Hey, we did it!